Hey guys, today I'm going to show you step by step how to create a WordPress website with Elementor for free. Elementor is a super easy drag and drop page builder and it's packed with functionality. It allows you to create really professional layouts and make them responsive. And what's even better is you don't even need to know how to code. Coming up. What's up guys, Tristan Parker here and I'm committed to helping you up your website design game as well as your business. Now today I'm going to be talking you through how to create a WordPress website using this new beginner's guide. If you're not quite sure what WordPress is, it is a content management system and it's the most popular one that is out there at the moment. It's powering over 70 million websites, which is a ridiculous amount of websites. And we're going to have your website up and running in just a few simple steps. So step one, we're going to be covering how to go about getting your hosting and your website domain. Like there's no way around it, you can't have a website without a hosting or a domain name. Then we're going to install WordPress onto your website. Next we will install the Elementor page builder so you can make it look awesome without even needing to code. And finally we'll install the theme and start building your website using Elementor. And make sure you stick around to the end guys, because there's going to be loads of valuable tips in this training. Now the reason why I use Elementor is because it allows us to change pretty much anything that we want. From defining fonts to changing colors, you can move elements around the page using click and drag, adding images, creating shape dividers, and even making everything look great on a mobile phone is simple. And by the end of this video, you're going to know how to do just all of that. And what's even better, everything I'm showing you today can be done completely free. If you haven't already done so guys, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notifications if you want to be notified of future releases, and give the video a thumbs up and let's see how many likes that we can get on this video. You're really going to love this, so let's head to the computer and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is get some website hosting. Now I'm here at TSO Host and these are the guys that I use for my own web hosting. Now I've used them for quite a while, and the reason why I use them is because they provide a great service. You have online chat here if you've ever got any queries, and they have a pretty good support ticket system. Now I'm not affiliated with these whatsoever, so you are free to choose whichever you prefer. Now I'm just saying that I like using these myself. Now for website hosting we need to head up to the top and just choose web hosting here, and web hosting from the secondary drop down. Cool, and if we scroll down you'll see the options that are available. Now the most popular one is pretty good value for money. If you have multiple websites that you're looking to host, then you can have up to 10, comes with a free SSL, unlimited storage, everything you essentially need. Now if you are not hosting 10 websites and you just need something a little bit smaller, then the deluxe version would be awesome as well, or even the economy. Either way, whatever one you choose, you're going to be able to host your website. Now if you do choose the 12-month upfront payment, then you do get a domain name included, so that's maybe something to bear in mind, and it's a little bit cheaper. But for now, for this example, I'm just going to choose the 1 month $4.99 and then click buy. Cool, so it's added to the basket. Here's my little discount code friend. We're just going to close that, and then we're going to go to checkout. Cool, so it's showing me that I'm already logged in. Now if you are not logged in, you just need to sign up as a user, input your details and go through the sign up process. It's really quite straightforward. Once you've done that, you will then move forwad to the next step. Once you have your hosting account set up, here in TSO Host we're given our control panel, and you can see the service that we've got, and it's the cPanel hosting environment. Cool, now in order to create the website we need to access our cPanel, and we can do that just by hitting this button. Cool, so here is my hosting environment and I have my domain name set up here already. Now you will have to set your domain name up and just run through the steps that it provides you. And if you get stuck, like I say, they have a great support system, so just raise a ticket or hop on the live chat with these guys and they will happily help you out. Now once you've reached this step, we then have to log into our cPanel, which is going to allow us to create our WordPress website. And you see this button here, we just hit that one. And awesome, this is our cPanel. Now depending on what hosting provider you use, you might be granted with a cPanel like this, or you might have a slightly different environment. But this is a very popular environment for web hosting. It is known as cPanel. So the chances are you're going to receive something like this. But let me just quickly run you through. Up here at the top is where you can add your mail accounts if you're looking to set up emails. Here we have FTP connections if you're looking to set up any FTP for yourself or a development team or whatever. Just a couple more things. If you ever need to update your PHP version for whatever reason, you can do that here. But more importantly, the area that we want to focus on is the web application section. Now there are a ton of apps that are available that we can just install applications really simply. And what we want is obviously WordPress. So let's just hit that one. It gives you a little bit of overview about what it is. Essentially, WordPress is a content management system which we are going to be using to build the website today. So we just want to hit this button up here to install this application. So here we've got our domain name, and if you click the list, there are a couple variations. Now there are HTTP without the www dot, or there's HTTP with the www dot, which is what we've got here, and there's also HTTPS. So I would just leave it as it is for now. Directory I would leave blank. We want it to store in the root directory. All of this stuff you can leave the same, except the license agreement, of course. Update to again, I would just recommend leaving all of the default options as they are selected. Now the important thing here is that you create your administrator username and password. Now these details are going to be used to allow you to log into your WordPress CMS. So once you create them, absolutely make a note of them. You're going to want to change this email because that email address is wacky and does not make sense. So yeah, put in an email address that makes sense to you and you could be contacted on. And they won't spam you, it's just more of a case if you ever forget your password, then they know who to send the password reminder to. And here we just want to create the name of the website, like so. Add a tagline if you want. I'm just going to leave that as it is. And just again run through the settings. It probably makes sense to leave them as they are, and then click install. So that's going to take a couple of minutes, hopefully not too long, so I'm just going to speed up the video. Awesome, that actually didn't take very long at all. That was 15 seconds, if that. So everything is installed. We have WordPress now installed on our domain name and on our hosting. You can see what the website looks like here. And to access it, what you want to do is just click this link and it's going to send you to the WordPress login page. Alright, cool. So this is where you go to log in. Every time you need to log into your WordPress environment, you have your domain name and followed by WP login or WP admin. That is going to send you to the same spot. Now the login details that you created in the previous step, hopefully you made a note of that, and now we need to use them to log in. Alright, excellent. So we're in. This is our dashboard. Now you will become fairly familiar with this. This is the page that you're always granted every time you log into your WordPress site. Now depending on how big your site is, you will be granted with a couple of extra things here, but more often than not, we don't really look at what's going on here. Let me just close this. Let's add that. Alright, so now that we're in, the first thing that we want to do is head over to our navigation on the left and go down to users. Now this is where all of the users to your website will be stored. Now if you have additional people on your team that you need to add, you can do so just by clicking this add button. Fill in all the information, and more importantly you need to make sure that you give them a role that is best equipped for their job. So for example, if they're going to manage your website, then I'd probably set them as an administrator, and that's going to give them full level of access. But if it's just a regular person that you want to be able to maybe read your content and give them author. Subscriber is the very lowest level of roles, so that is what is checked as standard. Now I want you to go over to your profile just by clicking this link here. And this is all of the personal information on your account. So if for example you want to change your name or you want to change your nickname, you can do so here. You can change your display name. I'm just going to leave that as it is. You can change your email here as well, and if there's anything that's going to be likely change, it's going to be your email and also your password. So if you need to generate a new password, you can do so here. Another really cool thing is you can change the style of the WordPress dashboard. So if you want a different color to work with, then you can do so. find midnight quite a nice colour, so let's just go with that. Once we've done here, just scroll to the bottom and make sure that you update your profile. So the next thing I want you to do is head over to settings, and we want to go down to what is called Permalinks. Now if you're not sure what permalinks are, it is the URL structure that appears up here in your website. And at the moment it's selected custom structure, and actually that's okay, but you can also select post name, which will work really well too. What you don't want is what is called plain, and it's going to add a really random page number to your website, which if trying to understand what page you're viewing, or if Google's trying to read your website or read your URL, it's not going to work very well. So make sure that you've got either post name selected or a custom structure with post name and category. Let me try that again. You want to make sure you've got category, then post name selected first. So it's going to create a nice URL structure. From here, just click save. Awesome, we're good to go. Next, we want to head over to plugins. And if you're not sure what plugins are, basically they're just extended functionality for your website. So imagine your mobile phone, for example. Your phone, a standard, doesn't have a lot of functionality, but what you can do is buy apps and download apps for your phone to make the functionality of your phone even better. That's exactly what plugins do for your WordPress website. Now the plugins that are here, we can just delete these by clicking delete and then clicking OK. And I'd recommend leaving this one on there. It's a bit of a security plugin. It limits the amount of time that people try and log in case someone's trying to hack you. So we need to add some plugins here. Now the way that we do that is head up to add new. And just to give you a sense of what plugins are, we're going to just pop up to view the popular plugins. So here's what is called Contact Form 7. Now this is just extending the functionality of a contact form. So if people, if you want people to contact you, they can do so. And it's got over 5 million installs, so that's a really popular plugin. Yoast SEO is a really popular plugin for SEO, and actually in fact we're going to install that one now. So we can install it to our website just by clicking install now. Just waiting for that, it shouldn't take very long. Cool, once it's installed, just hit that activate button. And you can see it is added to our plugins list, which is awesome. Now we need a few more plugins here, so we're going to head back up to add new. And we are going to search for a plugin called Elementor. If I can spell. Cool, so Elementor is our page builder, and this is going to allow us to create websites really nicely and easily just using a drag and drop editor. So let's install that. Alright, so Elementor is installed. We can just click this X on here. We don't need to watch this video. Great, and now we need to head back to plugins, click add new. Great, back up to the search field, we need to search something called Astra. Great, and now you can see here we've got starter templates, Elementor, Beaver, Gutenberg, Brizzly templates from Astra. So this has got over 600,000 installs, so very popular. This is the one that we need, so let's hit install that now. Alright, cool, so we'll leave it with plugins for now. Make sure you've got those installed. At the very least, make sure you've got Elementor and starter templates from Astra. Now next I want to head up to pages. And these are going to be all of the pages that you have on your website. So for example, you might have a home page or an about us or a portfolio, even a contact page. This is essentially where you would place all of those pages, and we can add as many as we like just by hitting add new. I'm going to close this block here, and this is where we give our page a title. So let's start with home page, and we just want to click publish. Awesome, so that page is now live. Now if we head back and click this view pages button on the far left, we can click add another one. Cool, this time we're just going to go with about us. So the same again, publish it. And don't worry about the content yet, guys, because we will sort that out later on. This, at the moment, we're just building out our page structure. So again, head back and then click add new. And this time, finally, we're just going to go with contact. Yeah, we'll just leave it as contact. And again, publish. Awesome, so that's all of our pages published, which is great. If for whatever reason you want to delete any of these, you can just put them in the trash. Again, you can add as many as you like. You can go in and amend the names of them if you wish. You've got full control over your pages. So next, we want to look at the website navigation or the website menu. Now that we've got our pages, we can now do this. So we want to head down to appearance and then go to menus. And we want to give our menu a name, so I'm just going to call it main menu. And then hit create. Cool. And then every time you add a page, it will appear here on the far left. If you have any posts or blog articles, you can just add them from here. And this is a custom link. If for whatever reason you want to link off to somewhere outside of your website, you can do that. And this would be your navigation name. But for now, we're just going to click all three of these pages and then add them to our menu. And what's really cool about this is you can just click and drag the order of them if you want to change the order, or if for whatever reason you want to create a secondary navigation level. So if you wanted to hover over a navigation item and have a menu pop down underneath, you can just create a sub item just by clicking and dragging, and you can build them up as many times as you like. But for now, I just want one level of navigation, so we're just going to keep it like this, really nice and simple. Now down here we need to display where we want this navigation to be located. So with this in mind, you can have multiple navigations on your website. So you might have a navigation for a specific page, or you might have a navigation for the header and a separate navigation for the footer. It just gives you full flexibility. But for now, I am just going to stick it on desktop, horizontal menu, click save, and then we'll check it out. Cool, so now that's saved, we can now go and take a look at our website. And the way that we do that is by heading up to this top corner, hovering over our site name, and then clicking visit site. Great, so this is what our website looks like at the moment, and don't worry, it doesn't look like much, but we're going to build up on that very shortly. So this is our website title and our subtitle, but the navigation that we've just created is over here on the far right. So you can see that the order is correct. We've got homepage, about us, and contact. And if I click one of these, it's going to take us to what our about page currently looks like. So that's all awesome. You can see how simple that is. Now, this doesn't look very good, so what we need to do now is make that look even better, which means that we need to install a theme. So the way that we do that is head back up to here, and we want to go back to dashboard. To install the theme for our website, we need to head down to appearance and then themes. So you can see the theme that we're currently running. It's the default WordPress theme. It's called 2020. Now we need to add another one. So let's head up to add new. Now you can see from this list there are loads of themes available. Now these are all free themes, and they're pretty good, but they are all extremely basic, which is why we opt to create our very own. So you can have a little look through this. If you want to head to popular and have a more in-depth browse, then you are free to do so. But the one that we want to work with is called Astra. So we can search that up here, and there we go. It's the one with the purple header that you want, and we just want to install that. Alright, cool. So once it's installed, let's hit that activate button. Great, so you can see that now this is our active theme, and if we go back up to view what our website looks like, it will look completely different. There we go. So again, this doesn't look like much, but we are going to improve that even further now. So let's go, let's head back up to dashboard. We want to start with editing our home page. So if we go back to pages, and we want to select our home page, click edit. And what we want to do is edit with Elementor here. We want to hit this big red button. Okay, so this is Elementor. Elementor is our page builder, and basically what it does, it gives us a load of really cool little widgets that we can just pick up and drag onto our web design canvas. So here we've just selected a section, and you can see that it's got a couple of grids, and inside that it's created 2 more. And if you wanted to add extra columns to your website, you can just hover over the column, see the little column icon, we can right click that and just click add new column, and you can see that it's adding more, which is awesome. If you want to head back to widgets, click the little 9 dot icon, and let's say that we want to add a heading in there as well. So we can place that in there. And you can type any heading that you want, like so. And let's say, for example, you're not happy with how this is looking and you want to change the style. Now we can go up here to our style section, and you can change the color. Let's say we wanted it red. And if you wanted to change the font, you're able to do so by changing the font family. Like, there are tons of fonts in here, so just spend a bit of time finding a font. You know, if you've got your brand font, just search for it. I like a font called Poppin, so let's just chuck that in there for now. You can change the weight. Like, you can literally do anything that you want with this text, which is super cool. So let's head back up to widgets and see what else we've got. Now maybe you want a button. Again, we can just drag that in, and you've got a lot of options here. We can change the text to, let's say, contact us. You can link out to somewhere. You can either put a URL in there, or you can search for one of your page names. So let's just search for contact, and you'll see here, and it will just automatically link it for you. You can change the alignment of this. You know, there are so many options that are available. If you wanted to add an icon to it, so let's just put like an envelope or something, insert there, or you can put it afterwards. It's totally up to you. If you want to change the style of the button, we can change the text on it, just like we did with our heading. You can add text shadow. You can change the color of the button by clicking background. You know, let's put it blue. But if you wanted to add a hover effect on it, you can do so with the hover option here. And if we're hovering on it, let's put the background to a slightly different color of blue. There we go. So you can see there's animation. You know, if you want it to change, there's so many options here, guys. Now if you click this plus here, you can create a new section structure. Now you can go for like a full width one if you wanted to add, let's say for example, you wanted to add an image. Now you can see that will go in there full width. And if you want to change the look of this image, just click choose image, and it will bring you to your image library. If you've got anything uploaded, it will display it. If you haven't, you can just select files and find an image to upload. Once it's uploaded to your media library, you can add alt text if you want. For SEO purposes, absolutely recommend doing it. So picture of office, and then you can just insert the media, and you can see that that's full width. Now if you wanted to add another section, maybe we could go with 3 columns this time. And from here we can go back to our widgets, and let's just add a icon box. And the icon box it allows you to choose your type of icon to whatever you want it to be. Let's just chuck a suitcase in. And again, you can change the heading. My suitcase. And you can change the text, change the positioning, you know, all sorts. There's so much flexibility here. And if you want to amend the style, you can change the spacing, change the size. You can click your content, and this is where you would change the style of the text. You can change the size of it, you know, all sorts. So I definitely recommend you coming in here and having a little play around, and you know, becoming familiar with the widgets that are available with Elementor. Like I say, there's so many things. There's like icon list. If you wanted to make a list with icons, you can go in here, you can select that, you can change the icon, you can make them into links, you can add them, you can duplicate, you can do all sorts. So yeah, like I say, go in and have a play. Now that we have a few things in here, just quickly show you how to add some spacing, so you can see that everything is quite squashed together. So if we choose these 6 dots on this row, we can edit this section. Now up here in our edit section panel, we want to head to advanced, and this is where we can play around with our margins and our paddings. So if we add margin just by pressing the up arrow on the keyboard, you can see that it's adding space above our row that we are currently working in, and this is what is called margin. So it's going to add margin here, and it's going to add margin here. Now if we go to padding and start adding it, you'll see that the padding or the spacing is now taking place on the inside of the container. So these values are really important. It helps you create white space or negative space, and it just helps you to produce a design that people can consume a lot easier. And once you're done here and you've done playing around, what we can do is delete by clicking the X on our delete section, like so. And if you have an element inside a container that you don't want anymore, you can just right click it and you can delete it. And one final thing that is really cool and really good to know is you can actually copy elements. You can copy this one and we could paste it over here, like so. And alternatively, what you can do is if you do have, for example, a button on your canvas and you've forgotten to style it, what you can do is you can copy any element and then paste the style onto the same element, like so. And now you can see that the style is the same, which is really cool, and you can do that for headings as well. Now I'm just going to delete everything here, like so. And once you have a better understanding of Elementor and how it works, let's move on to the next step. What we're going to do now is create what is called a starter theme for our website. So let's head back by going to the navigation up on the top right left, and we are just going to go back to dashboard. Yep, we want to leave. So many steps now. WordPress has done a few updates, and there's so many hoops you need to jump through in order to get back to the dashboard. Crazy. Cool. So we installed a plugin which was called Astra. Now what that's going to give us is, under appearance, we can go to what are called starter templates. So let's choose that now. And with this tool you can choose your page builder of choice. Now currently we are using Elementor. Depending on your experience, you might want to check out one of the others. Gutenberg is WordPress's default page builder. Personally, I don't really enjoy using it, so I don't, but I've also heard that Brizzy is really good, so maybe check those out. But today we're using Elementor, so let's hit this one. Awesome. So as you can see, these are what are called starter templates, and they are pre-built websites that you can install onto your own website and then make changes. So if you're stuck for time or you want something up really fast, this is a great way to get things done. Now you can use the search options that are available at the top. Now I recommend you at least click free, and this will give you all the free options. Now if you do want to sign up to Astra and have more options available to you, then you are free to do so, but today we're just working with the free one. Now you can see that there's still a lot of free websites that are available to install onto your website. And these are good looking sites, guys. Like there's a really good place to start. So to keep things simple today, we're just going to head right up to the top, and I'm just going to use this one, and let's just click it. And you get a preview of how things will look once you install it. So you can see that this is really quite basic. Like so, it's got a contact page, it's got everything that we essentially need. Now you can either import the contact template in itself, as it currently stands, or you can hit import complete site. Now today this is what we're going to be doing. We're just going to import the entire site. Now we have a few options here that we need to check out. So delete previously imported site. I'm going to check that because I want to delete everything that's currently in place. I just want to work solely with this site. Now depending on what you have in place already, it will be up to you as to whether you choose to import that or not. And I'm going to leave these checked like so, and I'm just going to hit that import button. This is probably going to take a few minutes, so I will just cut the video now and then pick it back up shortly. Cool, so that is installed, and it actually didn't take too long. It took maybe a minute or two, not very long at all, just enough time to go and grab a coffee if you need one. So now that's installed, we can check out what our site looks like, and we can just hit that button. And it's going to load it in a new tab for us, which is fine. Okay, awesome. So the website has finished installing, and this is so this is now how your website looks. So very different to what it looked like a minute ago. You can see that we now have a logo, and we've got some additional pages up here as well as this large red button. Now if I scroll, you'll notice that the hero section has a fixed position image, which gives it that nice parallax feel, and there's a quote or testimonial and everything that you basically need to form a professional looking website. Now if we just head up and check out one of the other pages, you can see that this has all been put together as well, and this has all been done using Elementor, which is awesome. So let's head back to the home page now, and what we're going to do is we're going to change this, because I don't recommend that you install one of these and just leave it. You need to put your own spin on it. You need to make it personal to yourself or your business. So let's do that now. And remember the shortcut that we can use by going up to edit with Elementor. Okay, cool. So you can see already that this is made up using the columns that we played with earlier, and the widgets that we have available over in our widget panel. So the first thing we're going to do is just change this hero section, and then we can edit this by clicking on the 6 dots that are available here. Now I want this to be the full height of the screen, so we can change the height by going to height, fit to screen, like so. So it gives it that nice full height and parallax effect with the fixed image. Now we need to also change the image in the background, so let's go to style, and you'll see that the image is within the background section, and we want to change that. So in our media library now, you'll notice that we've got a lot more images in here, and these are all of the images that are being used from the theme that we've installed. Now as I said, I don't recommend you using these. I recommend that you swap them all out for images of your own. So let's swap the image for the hero section, like so, and that looks great already. And you can see that there's a slight overlay, and if you want to make changes to that, you just need to click background overlay, and you can change the color here. You can have it to whatever color that you want. Maybe you want it orange or blue. I think blue looks quite smart if you go for a dark blue. And then we want to change the opacity. You can up it or lower it. You have essentially full control. So one final thing that I just want to show you is the shape divider. Now this is going to create some sort of shape like divide between elements within our web design canvas. So if we select bottom here and we want to change the type, you can have drops, you can have pyramids, there's loads of options here, but at the moment I'm just going to go with tilt, and you can change the angle just by adjusting the height like so, and you can also flip it. So as you can see, this just gives it another approach. It breaks away from the traditional straight lines. It makes it a little bit fun. Now let's make changes to our text within the hero. So let's go with learn to create. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to amend this text to say something like it would help if I could spell website cool. So you'll notice that that's dropped onto a second line. So again, we can fix that. We just need to change the font size, head to typography, and we can use the scroll bar just like so. So really simple. Now I want another piece of text underneath here, so I'm just going to right click this block and I'm going to click duplicate. And as you can see, it has duplicated it. Now the spacing isn't ideal, so we just need to check out whether it's got padding, and it has. So let's just remove all of the padding on that. And now that I've done that, rather than duplicating it for this one, I can just copy and click paste style, like so. So again, really powerful. Now I'm going to change the text on this. Cool. And I want this looking slightly different. I want to change the color. Go with some sort of blue, I suppose. There we go, that's nice. And let's change the typography. Awesome. And let's increase the size of that as well, like so. Great, so that's looking really good to me. Now I don't want to be using this red, so if we want to change that, again, just highlight the element, click it, and it's going to give you options to edit. Now this is a divider and it's got a fixed width of a percentage, so again you can adjust that, but we are going to change the color. Again, we're going to go with some form of blue. Okay, and if you want to keep using this blue, what you can do is just click here and then add it to your panel list, and it's going to just chuck it up here like so. Now let's edit our button. So click the button, head to style, and I want to change the background color of this to our blue. And on the hover, I'm going to go with no background. So when you hover it, it's going to behave like that. Let's change the text color as well to match our blue. So there we go, that looks kind of cool. So there we go, I'm happy with how the hero is looking, so let's move down. Now this obviously isn't ideal. This block has a background color of a light grey. Now we can change the color of the background by going to style, and you can change it here. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can just click and you can drag this element and use it, you know, anywhere further down the page. And you can do that with all of the elements on this page builder as well, which is why it is also really cool. So I'm going to make some changes here. Let's go with something like our services. Cool. And maybe I don't want these, so I'm going to delete them. Delete. And you'll notice that this is just an image, and we can just replace that. Now if you are unsure on where to get images from, I do have a video that gives you 5 places to go and get free stock photography, so go and check that out. But if you're unsure, we're going to head to a website called Pexels, Pexels.com. Cool, and this is loads of free stock photography that you can use for your project. So I'm going to go with, let's just search for something like a laptop. I don't really know what I'm looking for. What should we go with? Something fairly simple. Quick, make a decision. You know, that will do. Let's just download that one. Cool, let's head back over to Elementor. And you just want to head to your downloads, and you can simply click and drag the image in. Remember to give it alt text. Remember, it's good for SEO. I'm going to insert this media, and it's going to replace what's there. Also, you'll notice that there's a slight drop color on this, and now if you want to edit that, it's done via a box shadow, and you can just change the positioning of this if you want. You can, you know, make it less obvious. You can change the color. As always, just go in and have a play. Now everything that's on this side, I think I want to delete. So let's just delete it. And we need something to fill this area here. Now if we're talking about services, we could probably use something like an accordion. There we go. Let's go with that. Cool. So let's say we offered web design, and you wanted some more text in there. You can just put as much text in there as you like. And the second item, let's say we offered development, and if you want to add another one, just hit this button and say this is, oh, you can't spell again, social media, like so. And so this is what we call collapsible panels, otherwise known as an accordion. So again, you can see how easy it is to drop stuff in like this. And you have the style panel up here. If you want to make changes to how this looks, if you want to take away the borders, if you want to change the titles or the backgrounds, you know, you can do that. change the color of the text, like so. Now, you can also change the colors of the icons, and you can change the alignment, like so. So it's very, very intuitive. So again, go and have a play with that. So, now moving on, the quotes here, I'm just going to leave it as it is. You might want to swap this image out here, and again, we can just do that by clicking style. And let's just stick this one in there. Cool. Number 1, agency. Just something random. Now, if you wanted to swap the position of this, you can literally drag this column and place it over here, like so, which is super, super cool. Now, I'm not going to go too much further into this. Hopefully you've got the tools to be able to go in and make these changes yourself. Now, one more thing while we're in here, I just want to talk about how good Elementor is in terms of responsive design. So if you want it to look good on a tablet device, let's say, you can just head down to responsive mode and then click tablet. So already you can see it's looking pretty good. Now, whatever changes you make on here, let's say for example you wanted this to be 100% width on a tablet, you can do so, and again just select the column icon there and go to column width and change that to 100% too. And all of the changes that you make in tablet view will only affect tablet view. It won't make those changes on desktop or mobile. And if you want to make changes on mobile, you can head back down here and click mobile. So here is an example of where this maybe needs some tweaking. So we just click the text. You can change your typography and just make it a little bit smaller. And like I say, this is just going to make this change on mobile devices. Again, we can change the font size on here, like so. So already it's looking much better. Now remember that you want to change the colors of these, and actually one little thing that we can do is we can copy this and we can highlight this one and paste style, and that should update. There we go. Now moving down, we can do the same thing here. Cool. Before I forget, we can do exactly the same thing with buttons. Just copy the button, come down here, paste style, and it's going to behave in exactly the same way as our top button, paste style. Cool, so you get it. It's really, really cool. Now once you are done, you can head down here and click update. Or you have a couple of save options. We can save it as a draft if you're not ready to publish it, or if you want to use it in other pages further down the line, you can save your layout as a template and you can just refer back to it as whenever you want, which is really, really cool. But for now, I'm just going to click update. Cool, and that is updated. Now if we head back to desktop view and close this panel by clicking hide panel, it gives you a pretty good idea of how things are looking. Now you'll notice that there are still a couple of things that we need to sort out, and that is our logo. And you can also make changes to this navigation. Now you can remove some of these items like I showed you how to do earlier within the WordPress dashboard, but more importantly we need to look at getting rid of this button. So we can just head back to our dashboard now, bring the panel back out, head up to your navigation here, and we want to go to exit the dashboard. And again, just come up here, more hoops that we need to jump through. Cool, so let's first change our logo. And the way that we do this is by going down to appearance, and we want to hit customize. And there we go. Now I do recommend that you go in here and have a little look around and see what's possible. But if we start off by going to our header and then go to site identity, and you can see our logos that are here, and the way that you can change these is just by clicking change logo, and it's going to bring your media library back up. Essentially what you'll need to do is just drag and place your logo in here just like you did with the other images, and then select it. And you have a Retina version as well, so if you're looking at it on a, I don't know, like an iPhone or something that has ×2 or ×3, pixel display, then it's going to allow you to upload a logo and still have a nice clear crisp logo on site. Now, a couple of other things in here. Site icon. Now, I definitely recommend uploading one of these, usually in the dimensions of 512 pixels by 512 pixels. This is the little icon that sits next to your website name in the browser. So yep, go and check that out. And also, if you need to make changes to your site title and your tagline, you can also do that in here. Now let's head back one level. Next we want to hit primary menu. Cool, so this is referring to the menu that is here. Now at the moment we've got a button that is sitting here, but we can change this to, we can basically get rid of it if we want to, and you'll see that that's going to remove, like so. Or you can have a search icon in there as well, like so. So I'm going to keep that because it's pretty useful. It's always nice to be able to search around the website. Now let's head back a level to our header customizer, and we want to go back again. Now from here we want to just scroll down a little bit, and if we go to footer, then footer bar. Now this is the information that's currently displaying in our footer. So the 123 Fifth Avenue, 123 Fifth Avenue. So if you just make changes here, we can just delete that for example, it will slowly update in your footer, like so. And then you have a copyright statement here with the current year. So this current year is going to bring out the current year. So that's great for if, for example, you put your website together in 2020 and if people are visiting it in 2021 or 2022, you want to make sure that the copyright statement is up to date. So that's going to keep that up to date quite nice. Now that's essentially everything that you need to put your website together. As you can see, we've got a professional looking website here. You can access all of the pages just by using the navigation. You've got all of the tools that you need in order to add plugins and change the navigation and put together a very nice visual layouts using Elementor. So before we go, let's publish these changes that we've made within our customizer. Hit that publish button, and we can close this here. And finally, let's just see how our site is looking by visiting site. Cool, there we go. Everything looks great. It is really basic, but honestly, have a little play around with Elementor and make it your own, put your own stamp on it, and it's going to look awesome. So there you go, it's really that simple. Now let's just have a quick recap. So we started off by looking at our hosting and our domain name. Then we installed WordPress onto our server. Then we installed Elementor. You've had a crash course in how to use WordPress as well, and then we finally installed the theme and made the changes to make it unique and personal to you. Now hopefully you found that really valuable. Now there are loads of videos on this channel that are designed to help you up your website design game and your business, so absolutely go and check those out. And if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification if you want to be notified of future releases. And also give it a thumbs up if you like this video. It really helps other people find my content because it helps the YouTube algorithm. Now that's it for now guys, and I will catch you in the next one.